Hey everybody. I know it's been a few weeks since I've been on. I got sick right on Christmas Eve. I know I did a quick video to show y'all that I had been sick. I'm still kind of coughing a little bit, and as you can hear in my voice, it's still a little bit gone, but I doing much better. So tonight I wanted to cook, and I'm going to go live tonight since I haven't been on in a while, and show y'all what I'm making. So I'm actually going to make some chicken with, I watched this cook called Natasha's Kitchen, and she made this recipe from, it's like a copycat recipe from, I can't think, Cheesecake Factory. Forgot what it's called, chicken marsala, I think, or something like that. But basically it's just chicken, mushrooms, asparagus, and some onions in a like beefy kind of cream sauce. So that's what I'm going to make tonight. I'm going to start with cutting my onions and cutting the mushrooms, asparagus. You don't have to cut them big. You just have to cut the ends off. And then the chicken, I'm actually going to do chicken breasts tonight, which I never really do. I always do chicken thighs, but prices of everything is going crazy expensive lately. I don't know if y'all have noticed or not, but like the price of eggs is just ridiculous right now. So I always just peel off that first layer, and I know there's a trick to do this to where you can cut onions and not cry, but my eyes might get a little watery because I can never figure that out. So I'm just gonna, as you can see, I'm just running my knife through these onions. Hopefully y'all can see. Let me try to turn the camera so you can, hopefully that gives more light. I don't know if that does or not. Let me see if that'll brighten it up. I think that's as bright as it'll get. Anyways, so I'm just running my knife through this onion, and I'm just gonna dice it up because it's just gonna cook down into with the with everything else. I thought this was a pretty quick and easy, or it looked pretty quick and easy for the most part, but I know it's gonna take a little bit of time. Wanted to start earlier, but you know how it goes. Everything goes chaotic here at the house, and it's just nuts. We had a good break. The kids actually got 3 weeks off for Christmas, so I know I'm going a little faster now, sorry. But that second week, like I said, which was Christmas Eve, we, went to my mom's, and I just was not feeling good, and I could not figure out what was wrong, and I literally was just like, I just don't feel good, I just don't feel good, and it turned out, I honestly don't even know what I had, but I want to say it was more or less like an upper respiratory infection, and maybe with some bronchitis, because I was coughing pretty bad. Sorry, I'm trying to reach to find a bowl so I can put these onions in. I was coughing really bad. My voice is still kind of, like I said, gone a little bit, but for the most part, I'm doing better. So for the mushrooms, I'm just gonna kind of leave them bulky, more or less, which I'm cutting them into little pieces. I'm gonna throw them in here so I can rinse them off. And I think I've told y'all before, I usually cut all my vegetables first, and then I rinse them, wash them, whatever, and then I do the then I throw them in to cook. But because I feel like sometimes when you rinse them first, they still feel like after you cut them, you have to rinse them again. So I'm using 2 different kind of mushrooms because these are the ones I get at Sam's, and it's like 2 big old packages. These are the Bella mushrooms, and the other ones are just the regular mushrooms. I like both of them. I don't know why. I mean, honestly, I can't really tell a difference unless it's like a different kind of mushroom, like portobello, or what is that other one? There's another one that I was like, whoa, you can actually taste that this is, I think they're called oyster mushrooms or something, which I've had in some dishes. I've never bought them or made them, but they're pretty good. Anyways, like I said, I'm just kind of rough chopping these just to get them going. And I never really like to cook with chicken breast just because I always feel like they come out dry. I'm gonna slice, because they're always like a thick piece of chicken to me, and that's why I do the thighs, because dark meat usually tends to have, to me, a lot more flavor. So what I'm gonna do is cut them and slice them thinner, which I'm gonna show y'all. And in her recipe, Natasha's Kitchen, she actually used a meat mallet to make them a little thinner evenly, which you can do too, especially if you don't want to cut it. You can do that, or cut them and still use that meat mallet to break them down a little smaller. But I'm just gonna cut them as, you know, a couple thin into like 2 or 3 pieces if I can, depending on how big these breasts are. Anyways, but I'm doing a lot better. I miss cooking more or less. I cooked yesterday and I wanted to get on, but at the same time I still wasn't feeling like 100%. So I made an easy, what is it called, Swedish meatball, which I'm gonna have to do it again because it actually came out really, really good. And super easy to make. Quick, easy dinner. When I went to the store, I mentioned it because I was on the phone, mentioned it to my nephew, and the cashier was like, oh, that sounds good. I needed an idea for dinner. So I thought that was pretty cool. Anyways, so I cut up just 1 onion so far, and that's half of each of those packages. And those packages are pretty good size. They're 24 ounces of each. So I just use about half of each, because what I do is I will cook those another night with something else. So for my asparagus, I know you're supposed to like bend it and snap it, but honestly, I just kind of cut about 1 inch off the bottom. And that's it. So I'm going to actually leave these. Normally I cut them into smaller pieces, but I'm just going to leave them whole tonight, like that. So I'm going to put them in this bowl so I can saute those up. We're going to try to eat a little healthier because my nephew's kind of on like a challenge with work. So I'm going to try to start cooking a little healthier if I can. And this package of asparagus, I got it again at Sam's. And I think it was, it's 2 pounds, which sometimes I'll do up to 4 pounds because we actually do love asparagus here. My kids will eat it up. I do too. Everybody does. I'm going to probably make some Brussels sprouts later this week, and that will be pretty cool. So all these pieces, if you do composting, great. That would be a good idea for you. I don't, so into the trash they go. Alright, so I got my mushrooms cut up, which I'm going to actually ask RJ if he'll rinse everything for me since he's in the kitchen with me. So I'm going to tell him to rinse that off, rinse those off. I'm going to just flip my cutting board. Make sure it's...
Rinse these off?
Yes, please. Wipe that down. I'm going to switch knives. Use this one, which is more or less like a slicing, and it works pretty good for slicing. Again, please be very careful if you are doing this and you've never done it before. It can get dangerous. These are still a little frozen, which I prefer them to be a little bit like this, just because it does make it easier to cut them for some reason. So these do have a little bit of fat, as you can see. So I'm just going to run the knife and cut some of that fat off. And that's pretty easy. And this one's a good chunk, so I can probably cut it into 2 or 3 pieces. I think I'm just going to go with the 2. And see, I have my hand flat and just run the knife through it. And there you go. You got 2 beautiful pieces ready to go. And you're gonna just season these with whatever seasonings you like. Y'all know me, I do my garlic salt, and lately I've been doing the holy garlic from Fire and Smoke, which is garlic, activated charcoal, pure ground chilies, salt, black pepper, and brown sugar. So it gives me that little bit of pepper in there that I want too. RJ, will you rinse off the mushrooms for me too? My kids have been very, very great during this time that I've been sick. Bella actually cooked so many dishes. I mean, I helped in the sense that I just told her what to make or how to make it, and she actually did very good. She made soup one day for me. What else did she? I honestly can't even remember because it was, like I said, about a week ago. And then we went out of town for a week just to get out of the city for a little bit. And that was fun. Like I said, I'm just trying to trim off some of this fat off of here. Again, be very careful when you're doing it with the knife because these knives are very sharp. I'm not sure if yours are sharp, but these are. This one's a little bit thicker. I can go a little bit smaller, and let me show you. You're just gonna, again, place your palm on the top, run your knife through, and there you go. There's a beautiful slice. I'm still not ready for you to slice chicken yet, son. Maybe next time. And then I'm gonna run it again, placing my palm, just swiveling the knife back and forth.
Can I season it?
And there you go. And see how they're still a little frozen, but again, like I said, I purposely buy the package like that because it is easier for me to slice them. Let's do...
Mom, who's not watching?
I don't know. 2 slices there. As you can tell, my nose is a little runny. It's just been a bit crazy, guys. I'm going to put these back in here so they are out of my way. This one's a little thicker, so I'm probably going to have to go with 3. And just cut off some of that. Sometimes I cook these for the dogs and give it to them. It's a nice little treat for them. I don't do it all the time, but sometimes, you know, just depending. And again, when you're coming towards that end of that cut, be careful because you can cut yourself.
Do I have to change these out, Sarah?
No. They'll come off in a few days. So a few minutes ago, before I got on, 2 of our dogs kind of got into it, and Isaiah got a bite from one of the dogs because he was trying to take them apart, and yeah, so that was our night so far.
They tried to snap at each other again.
They did.
Outside, so I had to break that up, but that one was easy to break up. I just had to send the puppies back inside. But Cameron, he's just kind of mad right now. He's just too hyper. But I think he's calmed down.
We have 5 dogs, guys, and I think we might have to get rid of, well, I know I'm going to have to get rid of one of them because she's the one that's, I think she honestly is a very sweet dog, but she's one that needs to be by herself. She needs a lot of attention and just, it's, you know, one-on-one more than anything. And it's just something we can't really do right now. With the kids being in school and then, you know, they come home, they try to hang out with them. But again, everybody kind of has their own dog, and she is one that I don't know if she just gets jealous or if she just does not like to share. So, like I said, I might be posting something later about that and seeing if somebody might want her versus surrendering her or giving her, which I would love to just give her up for adoption, but
Mom,
you know, it's kind of hard.
Took Sam, that rehab thing or whatever.
So this piece is still a little thick, so I think I'm going to go one more time. I'm being very careful with this. Alright, so I got all my pieces cut up. And when they're sliced like this, they actually cook a lot quicker. It looks like a lot of chicken, guys, but believe it or not, we'll go either eat it or everybody can take some for lunch, like the boys or something. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna rinse this hand off really quick.
Do you have any really old phones?
Any what?
Do you have any of your really old phones that don't work?
No. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is season them one by one and actually just toss them in the pan. And I got 2 pans over here. That was my drink earlier. And I'm going to cook the mushrooms first, and then I'll cook the asparagus, and then hopefully I can throw it all in one pan and kind of roast it in the oven just for a little bit. But for the most part, I'm gonna use I actually wish I had 2 big cast irons, but I don't have but one. Excuse my mess in the back. But I actually just got this. I got this one, I think I told y'all, at Sam's. It's a little deep, so I like it. And that one on, this one is going, and I have a pretty high tolerance for heat, so I can touch this and not get burned. Please be careful if you don't, because you can burn yourself pretty bad. So I'm going to probably put maybe, because chicken breast is not like ground beef and not like anything else, so you do have to add a little oil to the pan. So I'm going to put a little bit of oil and some butter, which... Somebody broke my butter bell. Can you believe that, guys? They broke my butter bell, so we're stuck using just the bottom of the bell. Which, it still works, but, you know, I'd rather have the whole butter bell. If you don't know what a butter bell is, it was one of those upside down kind of bells.
Didn't Bear break it?
Yes, I think one of the dogs actually did break it.
I think it was Bear.
That's probably about 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to put one heaping one on that side. Kind of mixing it around just so it's incorporated pretty good. This one too. I think if I had a bigger stove, I probably would use 3 burners at once, but because my pans, this actually has 6 burners on it. There's one in the middle, but because these pans are so massive, I actually think I need a bigger stove, which I've been looking, when I finally do this kitchen, I might be doing a bigger stove that holds these kind of pans, because obviously, as you can see. Alright, so I'm going to move my chicken over here. And then I'm going to season it as I go. And again, you're just seasoning. I don't know if y'all can see the chicken. I can move the camera back a little bit. Oopsie. I think I unplugged the light. My bad. Sorry, give me a sec. Alright. Sorry about that. Alright, so hopefully y'all can see the chicken. I'm just going to lightly season each piece with some of this and some of this. And it does take a little more time sometimes to do that, but that ensures that each piece is getting coated. And I don't know why, guys, but I do love to use paprika. So I'm going to add a little bit of paprika to it. Got one side down, as you can see, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there. And please, when you do this, be wary of your cross-contamination. I just used this hand to put the chicken in, so I'm going to use this hand just to grab the chicken. Season a couple more pieces. A little bit of that, a little bit of this. See? Nothing to making some grilled chicken, basically. I could have done this on the outside grill, but I really just didn't want to cook outside today. I want to do hamburgers, and I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. And maybe some sweet potatoes. So when I do that, I'll cook that outside. So I'm thinking of getting one of those smash things for it. So over here, I'm going to cook my mushrooms and my onions in there. Mushroom got left behind. So while this is cooking, I'm actually going to season the other side. And again, you're just kind of sprinkling it on. Use as much or as little seasoning as you like. I kind of try to make sure it's like evenly coated. And that's pretty much it for this stuff. I'm left-handed, so seasoning with my right is not ideal, but I got it. Got my tongs for the chicken. I'm going to rinse my hand, guys. Alright, now I can stir this up. I think when I seen the recipe that she did, she actually boiled the asparagus, which I prefer just to sear it in the pan. See the colors you're getting off these? They're very pretty. Like I said, a lot of times what I do is I'll cook it to get it that color I want, and then I'll put it in a pan and throw it in the oven so it finishes cooking off with everything else. That's my little shortcut way of doing things sometimes, which it works. I gotta say, these pans are heavy. They're not very light at all. The mushrooms you really don't have to season. You can season it with just a little bit of salt and pepper or garlic salt if you want. I wanted to put some garlic in here too, so I'm going to grab some. My garlic is frozen, so I'm just going to have to toss a few in there. I know, call me crazy, but I actually do like a lot of garlic. So that's about 15 little pieces, which honestly, I don't know how much that is. Again, you don't have to use garlic if you're not a fan. You can use as little or as much as you'd like. And I will, again, post the recipe I did for this stuff in my description when I do the load it onto YouTube. Which, if you haven't done yet, guys, I recommend you go to my YouTube page, like, subscribe, the whole bit of it, which I would really appreciate. Alright, so, rundown of everything. We're making chicken, mushrooms, and asparagus in some kind of brown sauce, and I can definitely get on later and jump on in a few minutes to show y'all, so I can pause or keep going. I mean, it's up to y'all if y'all want to keep seeing me do this, because it's a lot of chicken I gotta do. But I can definitely show y'all how I throw it all together in a little bit if y'all like. But so far, that's what I got going on. Once the mushrooms are done, I'm gonna take those out, throw my asparagus in there, finish cooking my chicken, put it all in a pan, throw some cheese on it, and pop it in the oven. So I will definitely jump on in a little bit and show y'all. So I hope y'all continue to watch in a little bit. So this will be a 2-part video. But thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate everything. And I'll be back soon. Okay, bye.